It's time for New Palestine Dragons basketball on newpalradio.com. Today's game is brought to you by All-Star Turf Management, D&D Strictly Storage, Best in Sight Family Eye Care, Pork Vet Solutions, Hoosier Huddle, Real Life Church, and Catch the Shot Photography. Now let's head courtside for all of tonight's play-by-play.
New Palestine Dragons basketball is on the air from courtside at New Palestine High School. It's time for tonight's game between the New Palestine Dragons, who come in with a record of 2-1 on the season, and the Richmond Red Devils, who come in with a mark of 1-1. Along with Mike Petrie, I am Andrew Smith, welcoming you to this Saturday night. It's a double weekend for both teams. The Dragons coming off of a 10-point victory over the Greenfield Central Cougars in a county and conference rivalry game, and the Richmond Red Devils dropped a 78-60 decision in the to Marion, and the youngest Blackman returned for Marion from an 11-month injury last night and gave the Giants a boost. But it was, and Marion I think has some high hopes to make a bit of a run this year with a full roster. So both of these teams obviously looking to finish the weekend well. New Palestine obviously coming in, Mike, with a little bit of momentum. Anytime you can win a rivalry game, that's a good thing. And obviously the Dragons were able to, in the second half, especially the latter part of the third quarter and in the fourth, make some plays to put some distance between themselves and Greenfield Central and pull away to a very good win.
Yeah, absolutely. It was not a game that you really anticipated being a double-figure win for the Dragons. It really didn't look like a double-figure win at any point. They just were literally about 2 to 3 points better in every quarter. And as it turned out, that added up to a 10-point win. It got a little dicey at the end. It had been in the 10 to 13-point range really through about three quarters. Greenfield Central was able to make some pressure off of their pressure defense and get a couple of turnovers turned into quick points. Dylan Moles really had an impressive night. He had 19 for the Cougars. But in the end, it was the hot start for New Pal, and then did just enough throughout the rest of the game to come away victorious.
And as well, one thing that head coach Trent Whitaker has said really coming into the year and all year about this team is he really likes its balance and depth. Last night, a nice game from Eli Stevens, who had 17 points, but 4 players in double figures, and you could see the return of Blaine Nunnally after he missed the first 2 games was really key, as he was able to quarterback the offense and get the ball where it needed to go, and he also scored 10 big points.
Absolutely, and what that really did as much as anything was Greenfield Central loves to, they have kind of a press defense that it doesn't cause mistakes necessarily, but it absolutely looks to capitalize on them. And having Nunnally back in the game definitely helped in big stretches during that second and third quarter where they were able to stretch the lead out. In addition to his scoring impact, and I think we're going to see that through the rest of the season.
And then as well, I mean, Steele Brassfield's going to do what he does. He had 14 points last night, and then Kyle Bastian as well, 13 points, and he's averaging 6 points a game. And so when you can get that kind of balance, that makes you really, really difficult to defend. For Kyle, that was his first career double-figure game last night, and he and Stevens both had career highs. And when you're getting that kind of balance, that makes you really difficult to defend.
It does, and everybody's stat line was supplemented essentially by the fact that they got to the free throw line and they made free throws last night. Now, Eli had a stretch where he missed 3 in a row, and then his fourth one hung onto the rim for what seemed like an eternity. It finally fell, and I think that helped as much as anything. He had gotten up to really right around his that career high mark where he ended, but getting that last one to fall, I think, was really helpful for him.
This Richmond team is a young team. There are no seniors on the roster. They will start a lineup that includes 5 juniors. They're led by Stephen Douglas, a 6'3 forward who averages 20 points and 8 rebounds through their 2 games so far. He had 18 and 12 last night in Marion. And then Tylen Harris a 5'10 junior guard, averages 12 points a game. He had 13 last night. And so they're also a team that likes to spread the scoring around, and they seem to be a team as well that likes to push the pace. That 85 points in their opener against Heron, and then 78-60 loss last night to Marion.
I made the point to Chris last night that going from Greenfield Central to Richmond is a bit like going from a demolition derby to a IndyCar race, because Richmond, in their win over Heron, they had 75 possessions in 32 minutes. Last night, a little bit slower, but overall, you're looking at 70 to 75 possessions per game. New Pal likes to push the tempo when they can. So far in their 3 games, they're averaging about 61 possessions per game, though. That's a big gap.
Yeah.
And so they're going to have to put on their running shoes tonight and be ready to go. What really impresses me about Richmond, and their loss to Marion last night was a bit of a blitzkrieg, a little bit like what we saw with New Pal against Beech Grove, in that Marion outscored Richmond 27-9 in the first quarter last night. Scoreline was even the rest of the game. So a lot of that was they gave up a lot of points early and then just were having to scramble to try to get back in the game the rest of it. They run up and down. They push the pace. They are to the wall every time, and they're doing it with basically a 6-7 man rotation. That's a lot like what they did last year. It is an awful lot, but I'm wondering if New Pal's depth might prove to be an advantage tonight.
Yeah, last year they had a senior-laden team with the Crofts and a really solid group for Shabazz Khalik, their head coach this year. And he's a guy who has the state finals in his pedigree, and he led Fort Wayne North to the state finals a few years back. Very good coach, very well-coached team, but they have an identity. But early on, with so many new varsity players, and you can see this for both of these teams, you're going to have a few growing pains. New Palestine essentially has 3 players who saw varsity action last year, and they saw a lot in not only Brassfield and Brown, but it's how quickly those newer players come in. And for both of these teams, they've had a lot of newer varsity players really make an impact very early.
Absolutely. And what you saw with Richmond, Tylen Harris and Chase Newton both played on the varsity and saw significant minutes last year, but that's really it. Everybody else from that team last year has moved on to college or to other ranks. So essentially, that's turning over, again, about 80% of your lineup. Stephen Douglas has come in. He's been really impressive. He's a sophomore, really came out of nowhere. Must have played JV last year, and again, that was a tough lineup to crack. But it's been interesting because he's been the leading scorer both times.
Yeah, and had a double-double last night as well. And Chase Newton's another guy, 6 assists, 11 points last night, 8.5 points and 5 assists are his averages for the season. And a 5'8 junior point guard, but he's a guy with a lot of speed, and again, can get the ball to the right places where they need to be.
Right, and with Richmond, essentially you're looking at 2 completely different games because they overmatched Heron, and they were 13 of 20 from behind the 3-point line. Against Marion last night, 8 of 25. You've got to see which of those Richmond teams is going to show up tonight. And against Heron again, they had 12 turnovers in 75 possessions, which is really good. Last night they had about 21 turnovers. 4 different players had 4 or more last night, so they spread the turnovers around as well.
We're going to take our first break of the night. When we come back, we'll give you the starting lineups and tip-off, and that comes up momentarily. This is Dragon Basketball on NewPalRadio.com. The broadcast is presented by All-Star Turf Management.
All-Star Turf Management is the best choice for the lawn you really want. Our superior lawn care services, including fertilizer, weed control, aerations, mowing, and more, are designed to improve and maintain your property season after season. Our combination of using the highest quality chemical products applied by educated, licensed professionals is what your property needs to become a place we both will be proud of. With flexible scheduling and service programs, we have a package that's right for your lawn and your budget. Locally owned and operated by Nathan Johnson, All-Star Turf Management is proud to support the New Palestine community and Dragon Athletics. To learn more or for a free estimate, call All-Star Turf Management at 861-1234 or visit myallstarlawn.com. That's 861-1234 or myallstarlawn.com for All-Star Turf Management. D&D Strictly Storage in New Palestine is your home for storage needs. D&D Strictly Storage offers a wide variety of storage sizes from 5 by 10 feet up to 10 by 30 feet. They also offer indoor and outdoor parking for your boats and RVs. Locally owned and operated by Don and Maria Blackwell, D&D Strictly Storage is who to call for your storage solution. They're located on County Road 400 West, just north of the railroad tracks in New Palestine. Call them at 861-9231. Again, that's 861-9231 for D&D Strictly Storage. Mention this ad and get your second month free with any rental.
Best in Sight Eye Care has been the leader of quality vision and eyewear in New Palestine for more than 20 years. Our experienced doctors, Tim Huffman, Mark Habing, and Colin Clairbout, use the most advanced state-of-the-art technology and eye care products available. At Best in Sight Eye Care, you will find professionals who are dedicated to providing exceptional personal service to everyone who walks through the door. We are conveniently located on Arbor Lane in New Palestine. Just follow US 52 west of Mount Comfort Road. To schedule your appointment, visit bestinsighteyecare.com or call 861-4100. Give your vision the level of care it deserves. Mention this ad for 10% off your glasses purchase.
Now, back to the action on newpalradio.com.
Along with Mike Petrie, I'm Andrew Smith. Courtside here as the New Palestine Dragons get set to take on the Richmond Red Devils. Let's give you the starting lineups for the Dragons. Again, coached by Mike Gizzi tonight as head coach Trent Whitaker is unavailable. The front line, Kyle Bastian, a 6'3 senior, and Steele Brassfield, a 6'5 junior, averaging 17.7 points a game. Matt Brown in the middle, a 6'4 senior, averaging 7 points a game. The backcourt, Eli Stevens, a 6'1 senior, and Blaine Nunnally, a 5'10 sophomore. The Richmond Red Devils tonight, under the tutelage of third-year coach Shabazz Khalik. The front line, Stephen Douglas, a 6'3 junior, and Trenton James, a 6'1 junior. The backcourt, all juniors, Chase Newton at 5'8, Tylan Harris at 5'10, and Dorian Hill, also 5'8. Our officials tonight are Matt Weldy, David George, and Mike Daly. The Dragons in the home white uniforms with red numbers trimmed in black, and Richmond in all black uniforms with black numbers trimmed in red. Kyle Bastian in the center jump circle wins the tip away from Trenton James, and away we go. Dragons with possession, and Richmond comes out in a man-to-man defense as the Dragons work it around to Steele Brassfield high right. Brassfield waits for a screen from Bastian, and he'll launch a three off the dribble, off the front of the rim, no good. And the rebound is pulled out by the Red Devils, Dorian Hill. Quickly the other way, Chase Newton will set up the half-court offense. Bounce pass to Hill, left wing to the top of the key for James. He'll swing it around to Newton, right wing. Bounce pass back to the top of the key to Harris. He'll back it up north of the volleyball line. And they'll bring it out to the top, and nearly threw it away did James, but it found Stephen Douglas, and Richmond retains possession. Harris into the corner for Hill, and he'll work it back out top for Newton to reset the offense.
Solid defense for the Dragons so far. Nothing really getting inside the three-point line.
And so Richmond will try a three-pointer and hit it. Stephen Douglas out of the right corner. Richmond was trying to drive and didn't have it.
That's one way to bring the defense out to you.
Dragons work it to Eli Stevens in the left corner, trailing at 3-0. We've played a minute and 15 seconds. Stevens lobs to Matt Brown, left post. Puts it off the deck and goes up with the right hand and leaves it a little short off the front of the rim, and Trenton James has the rebound. The Red Devils on the run. Here's a three-point attempt by Harris that is too strong. Rebound run down in the corner and corralled by the Dragons' Blaine Nunnally. They'll push it quickly the other way. Stevens on the right side. Up to the top of the key to Brassfield. Steele Brassfield, they spread the floor for him. Spin move in the lane. Turnaround jumper is good. Steele Brassfield with his first two. The Dragons trail it by one. Richmond with the basketball. Work it to Tylan Harris. Swing it to the left wing to Chase Newton. Into the high post, Douglas drives down the left side of the lane. Tried to pitch it post to James, but it was picked off by Brassfield. He'll try to go coast to coast, put it up with the left hand and score. steal. Brassfield gives the Dragons a 4-3 lead.
It's really one of the big strengths that the Dragons have is their ability for their wings to lead on the break. Brassfield not having to look up or find any teammates until he was actually stopped. Richmond never stopped the ball.
New Palestine with a 4-3 lead. Harris to start the offense, high left side. Works it through James. Over to the right side, Stephen Douglas. Into the lane, pitches it back out to Harris. He'll dribble to the free throw line and then back it back out. Good defense by Nunnally. Over to the left wing for Chase Newton. Crosses over into the lane. Pitches it into the corner for a catch and shoot three that is perfect from Dorian Hill. And Richmond leads at 6-4.
Well, Richmond is not shy about shooting from the three-point line. They've had at least 20 in each of their 2 games so far.
And they were 8 of 25 last night in Marion, and we have a whistle and an offensive foul, an illegal screen called on New Palestine as Matt Brown is the guilty party. That's the first foul of the game.
I'm a bit worried about Matt Brown's confidence. He missed that sort of gimme under the basket, and just watching him warm up, a lot of shots just falling off. He looked very frustrated.
Richmond with possession, leading by 2. We've played 3 minutes of the first quarter. Chase Newton, the point guard, guarded by Bastion, dribbles to the top of the key, clears it back out to Harris. James comes out to set the screen. The Dragons switch it as now Stevens is guarding Harris in the left wing. Pull-up jumper from 15 is a little strong. And James gets the rebound, but it's knocked out of his hands by Brown. And the Dragons gain possession as Brown with the steal. Blaine Nunnally with it on the right side of the top of the key. Will take it to the free throw line, spin move in the lane, and he traveled. He was trying to drive and dish it off to Brown, but dragged the pivot foot, and so it'll be a Richmond ball.
Yeah, just trying to do a little bit too much there. Got into the middle, had a good look, and I think he would have given Brown a good look, but just couldn't quite decide which of those moves he wanted to go to.
Douglas hands off to Hill, and he traveled.
Yeah, he dragged his pivot foot there. He tried to sell the pump fake on the pass, and he sold it a little bit too much.
So New Palestine in possession. 4:15 to go in the opening quarter. Richmond leads at 6-4. Each team has hit 2 baskets. Richmond's have been from behind the arc. The Dragons have been from inside. Stevens to the top of the key. Nunnally fakes the 3, has it tipped out of his hands. Blaine runs it down and picks it back up in the center court circle. Blaine drives down the lane, pump fake, puts the shot up. It won't go. Rebound batted around, still being batted around. Volleyball being played here on the court at New Palestine, but the Red Devils finally come away with it after the ball hit the ground.
I thought Hill might get called for a travel there. He caught it on the ground and rolled over just a bit, but they ruled that, I guess, one side stayed down.
There's a lob pass from the wing. Newton lobs it underneath to Trenton James, and James is going to be called for an offensive foul on the push to free himself.
He's not sure what the call was. The coach is not sure what that call was.
David George was pretty sure, though, and he called it pretty quickly, and maybe looking for that a little bit tonight, as he was the same official that called the illegal screen earlier in the game on New Palestine. So Dragons with possession. Brassfield on the left side. On the bounce, takes it to the top of the key, feeds Nunnally, and now to Bastion. Short corner left, back out to the left wing to Blaine Nunnally. Holds over his head, feeds Brown left post. Puts it off the deck, turns to the right hand. This one spins out. 2 short shots from Brown, and neither one of them has gone down so far. Douglas with a rebound for Richmond. Newton drives baseline and stepped on the out-of-bounds line as he was trying to drive the baseline and was essentially cut off.
And not to belabor a point, but Matthew Brown again, he had a frustrating night last night because he got 4 fouls. I think only the last one that he got was actually on the defensive end. The rest of them were either away from the ball or kind of loose ball, fighting for rebounds on the offensive end.
Dragons weeding it out high. Brown pitches to Bastion, drives from the left wing, has the ball tipped away, but gets it back out to Stevens' left wing. To Bastion, left corner, catch and shoot 3 is strong. Rebound fought for and pinballs into the hands of Stephen Douglas of Richmond. 6-4 Richmond, and here's a 3-point attempt from Tylen Harris that grazes the front of the rim and lands into Brassfield's hand. Quick, long 50-foot pass to Eli Stevens, who catches, lays it in, and draws the foul. Stevens ties the game and can give the Dragons the lead with the free throw.
Just a fantastic look from Brassfield there. Keeping his head up, and again, it comes back to that same point. You've got forwards in Stevens and Brassfield who are very comfortable leading a break.
Stevens unable to complete the three-point play, but Matt Brown collects the offensive rebound, and he is fouled. So Brown will shoot a pair. The previous foul was on Dorian Hill. This one on Drew Van Vliet, who's just checked into the game for Richmond, a 6'5" sophomore. And so Brown makes the first free throw. So glided that one over the front of the rim and in. So it gives New Palestine a 7-6 lead. It's his first point of the night. 2.5 minutes to go, first quarter. Brown trying to extend the lead. He does not. The Dragons get 3 points on that possession, a bit unconventionally, but they have a 7-6 lead. Richmond with possession. Will work it out top to Stephen Douglas. Over to the left side to Tylen Harris. Guarded by Nunnally. Brings it back out into the high circle to Chase Newton. He's on the bounce. Being watched by Eli Stevens. Newton drives left side of the line. Puts up a teardrop runner and scores. Chase Newton gives Richmond an 8-7 lead.
That was a great job by Newton. Probably the first time tonight we've seen Eli getting beat off the dribble.
And on the other end, Chase Newton is called for his first foul. That's the fourth on Richmond.
You see so much of this Richmond offense is based on just that dribble drive.
And the Dragons able to free steal Brassfield off the inbounds for a short jumper. He knocks it down for his 6th point. It's 9-8 New Palestine.
He's got 6 points all on jump shots. They're all a little bit different variety, too. He's showing a lot of different ways he can score.
Richmond works it through Van Vliet to the right wing to Chase Newton. One dribble. Back out high to Harris. Now for a catch and shoot three from Douglas that is strong. Rebound bounds into the hands of Van Vliet. Misses the putback. Tried to get the offensive rebound again, but it ended up being fumbled out of bounds, and possession will go to New Palestine.
Dragons fortunate on that one to not give up any points. You generally are not going to give a team as good as Richmond 3 bites at the apple and not have it come away, giving up at least 2.
There's a spin move by Nunnally into the corner, and Bastian drives from the wing, has an open layup, and left it a little strong, no good. Harris with the rebound. Douglas has a shot recycled, but he was able to take the ball away from Steele Brassfield and lay it in. Stephen Douglas's 5th point gives Richmond a 10-9 lead.
Nice job by Douglas staying with that. Brassfield blocked the shot, but was sort of going away from it and wasn't able to get a strong handle on the ball.
New Palestine's Nunnally skips it over to Bastian. Hanging shot in the lane goes. A 10-footer from Kyle Bastian for his first 2 points.
Glad to see that go down after the layup spun out. A couple of times he's driven so hard to the basket, I think he's been surprised he hasn't encountered more resistance.
Richmond with possession. Here's a three-pointer from the right wing from Newton that won't go. And the rebound to the Dragons. Long up-court pass from Nunnally to Bastian. Reverse layup won't go. And Richmond has the rebound. Douglas wants to push the pace. He loses the handle. It's picked off by Eli Stevens. He'll race it the other way. He's in a trap and nearly threw it away, but the ball was tipped into Brassfield's hands. He'll launch a three, top of the key, and knock it down. Order out of chaos. Steele Brassfield's 9th point. Gives the Dragons a 14-10 lead at the first quarter buzzer. A 3-quarter court shot does not go for Richmond.
This is why I'm not a coach, Andrew, because I hated everything about that shot until it went in.
Yes. Trent Whitaker may be thinking the same thing, but it went down, and the Dragons have a 4-point lead going into the break. It's one of those shots you go, no. Yes.
Absolutely.
We'll take a break. Right after this is Dragon Basketball on NewPowerRadio.com.
PorkVet Solutions is the best veterinary choice for your swine operation. Our 2 doctors, Matt Ackerman and Dylan Lape, can help you position your pork production system for the 21st century. We provide veterinary and consulting services, herd visits, preventive medicine, and more. PorkVet Solutions is licensed and accredited in 8 states. Reach us online at porkvet.com or call 623-5132. That's porkvet.com or 623-5132. PorkVet Solutions, literally saving your bacon each and every day.
At Real Life Church, we've done everything we can to create a place people love so they can experience a loving God. That means we do everything with you in mind. Whether it's our weekend services, our kids and student ministry, or small groups, we really have been expecting you. We've been praying for you, and we're excited about the opportunity to go on a spiritual journey with you. We hope that you'll take your next step and join us this weekend at Real Life Church. There's always room for you.
Second quarter action beginning at the Dragons' Den. New Palestine leading 14-10 after Steele Brassfield's three-pointer just ahead of the first quarter horn. Richmond with possession to begin the second quarter. Stephen Douglas, who leads them with 5, clears it back out to Harris. Over to the high right side, Chase Newton being guarded by Ian Stevens, who's checked into the game, and Ian Stevens is called for a hand-checking foul, and so that'll be his first and the second on the team.
Luke Burgess in the game for the Dragons as well. I'm going to expect probably the rotation to be a little deeper even tonight than it was last night. Burgess did not play a whole lot of minutes last night.
He came in for Matthew Brown and Ian Stevens and also Damon Hockett in the game. They're out there with Nunnally and Brassfield, the 2 original starters still in the Dragons lineup. And we have a double dribble being called as Richmond was in possession and Harris was trying to take it to the top of the key and just put the extra hand on the basketball.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not sure I saw that unless he just crossed over his hands too quickly. Huh.
Blaine Nunnally has 2 screens, chooses the one on the right, tried to bounce it underneath to Luke Burgess, but it was kicked out of bounds by Richmond, so possession will stay with New Palestine.
And of course, Burgess not playing as many minutes last night makes sense too, because the Greenfield Central lineup much smaller than what they're seeing tonight.
New Palestine inbounds to Damon Hockett, takes it to the free throw line, out to Ian Stevens. He wants 3 off the front of the rim, no good. Damon Hockett reaching in to keep the rebound alive, but he used the offhand to hold off Harris, and he's called for his first foul.
Yeah, if that was on a football field, the defensive back and wide receiver they would have said, well, both are fighting for that positioning, but here he gets caught using the hand.
Richmond in possession. Chase Newton may have gotten away with a walk to the free throw line, able to bounce it out to Tylen Harris, back out to Newton at the volleyball line. Guarded by Ian Stevens, bounces it out high to Harris, now into the lane, Stephen Douglas. He'll bring it back out to the right wing on the dribble. Damon Hockett guarding him. Douglas recoils down the lane, puts up a runner, and they count the basket. And so Douglas able to score on the runner and draw a foul. There was some question, and you could see it in the officials' eyes. They were communicating with each other to decide whether the foul, which is on Damon Hockett, was on the floor or in the act of shooting. And they determined it was the latter, and Douglas has a 3-point play opportunity.
Yeah, that was definitely on the edges of the extension into the shot. It was one kind of smooth action, but I think that was the right call.
The free throw is no good. That was Richmond's first free throw attempt of the night. Steele Brassfield has the rebound. New Palestine with a 2-point lead. We've played just over 90 seconds of the second quarter. C.J. Oliver's in the game. Gives it to Hockett, back out to Oliver, left corner. Takes one dribble, puts up a runner, and it's an air ball. May have been partially blocked, and here come the Red Devils. Chase Newton up the right side. Gives it up, then gets it back, and now they'll work it to Stephen Douglas, high left. Brassfield is guarding him. Coach Shabazz Khalik calls a play as Newton bounces it over to the right side to a new face in the game, Phoenix Michaels. Work to Douglas. Left post goes to the left and can't get the shot to go. It hit the rim twice before falling off, and Luke Burgess clears the rebound for New Palestine. Quickly the other way, Brassfield splits a double team, puts up a runner. It won't go. Lively rebound comes to Newton. He'll push it the other way up the left side to Michaels, and he traveled.
Yeah, Michaels didn't understand that call, but that was the right call. He took 2 steps before he jumped, and he's going to get called essentially off of a good look from his teammate. Goes to waste for the Red Devils.
5:40 to go. Second quarter, New Palestine with a 2-point lead. Hockett dribbles to the right side. It was poked free, but he got it back behind the back dribble and now works it to Oliver. Thought about the 3, instead takes one dribble, puts up a 14-footer. It won't go, but he was fouled on the jump shot, and C.J. Oliver is going to shoot a pair.
I have a feeling he was going to get fouled on wherever he decided to shoot that from. He might have gotten 3. It wouldn't have been a clean look, but I think he would have gotten fouled had he gone up for the 3-point shot, as well as he got fouled on that 2-point jump shot.
Oliver rattles the first free throw good. The foul was on Chase Newton. That's his second, so Richmond's point guard is going to have to take a breather. Dorian Hill replaces him. Kyle Bastian is back in for New Palestine. And
this is where the lack of depth on the part of the Red Devils really comes into play, because if, looking at it, if they're going to replace him or if he's just going to have to play with 2 fouls.
Oliver hit both free throws. It's a 4-point New Palestine lead. Tylen Harris with the basketball, guarded by Hockett. Behind the back dribble. Hesitation into the lane. Clears to Douglas. He has the ball knocked away at the free throw line. Stolen by Nunnally. Blaine takes it up the right side. Dumps it underneath to Damon Hockett, who has an open layup.
Beautiful, beautiful pass by Hockett there. He got up into the air, was able to cross it over his body, and still found his teammate. Nunnally did.
18-12 New Palestine. Richmond feeds Tylen Harris, left corner, working on Hockett. Uses the screen from James, launches a 3 over the outstretched arm of Burgess. It's a little strong, and Bastian has the rebound. Quickly ahead to Hockett up the right side. Hockett spins to the free throw line. Knocked off balance, but was able to clear it to Oliver. Now Nunnally. Left block to Burgess, and he is fouled. Before he could make the post move, he was fouled on the catch. And that's Trenton James' second foul. So Van Vliet will replace James in the Richmond lineup. It's the 6th team foul on Richmond, so the next one will send the Dragons into the bonus.
That was also a situation where when Hockett got knocked off of his dribble, it was almost kind of the free play scenario where if he gets the pass off, all is well, they let him play through. But if he had stumbled or if he had traveled, they would have called a foul.
Bastian misses a 3. Fight for the rebound is a jump ball as Luke Burgess and Phoenix Michaels were tied up, and the possession turn will go to New Palestine. A simultaneous possession on the rebound. And now our official kind of trying to take care of some of the rough play and the jockeying for positions.
A good stern talking to.
Yeah, that is a good way to describe it. Dragons inbound, Bastian on the right wing. Now to Stevens underneath. Luke Burgess is held by Drew Van Vliet. Now Van Vliet has 2 fouls. And this is also the 7th team foul on Richmond, so it's time for the 1 and bonus for New Palestine for the final 4:14 of the half.
Yeah, foul trouble will add up on you when you're only playing 7 to 8 guys on a given night anyway.
So Burgess to shoot the 1 and 1. On the year, he's 3 for 6. Now 3 for 7, as that one's a little strong. And Douglas clears the rebound for Richmond. They push it up the left side to Dorian Hill. Back out to Harris. He'll work it across the top. Nunnally watching him. Harris taking over the point duties with Newton on the bench with 2 fouls. Work it through Drew Van Vliet in the high circle. He holds, clears it back out to the right side to Michaels. Phoenix Michaels a couple of dribbles, back out into the high circle to Hill. Working on Eli Stevens. Hill throws it away. He was trying to pitch it out to the right side to Harris, but the pass was a little bit behind him, and it goes out of bounds to New Palestine. That's the 8th Richmond turnover.
And a lot of these turnovers, they're not necessarily being caused by New Pal, but they're not completely unforced either, because New Pal is being so sound defensively and not allowing passes to get inside that 3-point line. Richmond's kind of trying to do a little too much.
Blaine Nunnally turns the corner on the left side, explodes to the basket, and scores. And the Dragons have an 8-point lead with 3.5 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Just a beautiful hesitation there. Kind of deked his defender and was able to get around the corner and went straight to the basket.
Dorian Hill airballs a 3-pointer on the other end. And so New Palestine has possession. The Dragons have outscored the Red Devils 6-2 in this quarter and lead it by 8. And a little lower scoring than maybe we were expecting going in, but a little more of a half-court game. Nunnally on the right wing, feeds Brassfield, right post, turns to the left. Shot won't go. Burgess goes up for the putback. It won't go, but he draws a foul. And this looks like it might be on Van Vliet. If that is, that's his 3rd, and that is the case. So Trenton James will come back in to replace him, and James will be playing with 2 fouls.
And not a lot of options to go to if you're Coach Kalik here.
Burgess hits the first free throw, puts New Palestine up 9. And also Chase Newton's going to come back into the Richmond lineup with 2 fouls. He replaces Phoenix Michaels.
I don't want to jinx anything, but that looked like a pretty good stroke for a 50% free throw shooter so far.
Burgess has 1 point on the night, and now 2 as that one gets the shooter's roll off the back of the rim and then drops in. The lead is 10 for New Palestine. Richmond's Dorian Hill works it through James over to Newton, right wing, working on Stevens. Bounce pass back to the top for Tylen Harris. He'll bring it out to the Dragon logo at midcourt. Harris on Nunnally, uses James' screen. Slides it to the left side to Hill. He'll fire a 3 off the dribble. It is an air ball, but it's tracked down by Chase Newton. And so Richmond with a second chance opportunity. And they'll clear it back out to Douglas. Works on Bastian, dribbles to the free throw line. And then tried to throw it into the corner to Harris, but it was tipped out of bounds.
The three-point shooting percentage for Richmond keeps coming down. They started, after their first game, they were 13 of 20. You knew it would come down from there, but they were 8 of 25 last night, and tonight they'll be struggling to get above 33%.
Yeah, they hit their first 2 and took an early 6-4 lead with those 2 threes, and since then have scored just 6 points. Richmond in possession. Matt Brown is checked back into the game, replacing Luke Burgess for New Palestine. Tylen Harris across the top uses James' screen, feeds it into the corner, and we have a Dorian Hill stepped on the out-of-bounds line as he was trying to drive the baseline.
At halftime, Coach Kalik might want to introduce his players to that baseline because they've stepped on it a number of times and been utterly surprised. I know with the red paint behind the red line, it can be a little tricky, but they've got to understand exactly where that is.
Here's Blaine Nunnally catching and knocking down a 3. He caught the pass on the left wing, took 1 dribble on the turnaround and drilled the 3-pointer. The Dragons lead at 25-12. And here's a pass tipped and stolen by Eli Stevens. 2-on-1 with Nunnally. Stevens a little too strong on the drive. The rebound knocked out of bounds by Chase Newton. It'll stay with New Palestine. The Dragons have a 13-point lead, and Coach Kalik is going to take a timeout. It is a full, so we'll take one as well. 1:40 to go in the first quarter, or the first half of play, and the Dragons with a 25-12 lead. This is Dragon Basketball on NewPalRadio.com, presented by All-Star Turf Management.
All-Star Turf Management is the best choice for the lawn you really want. Our superior lawn care services, including fertilizer, weed control, aerations, mowing, and more, are designed to improve and maintain your property season after season. Our combination of using the highest quality chemical products applied by educated, licensed professionals is what your property needs to become a place we both will be proud of. With flexible scheduling and service programs, we have a package that's right for your lawn and your budget. Locally owned and operated by Nathan Johnson, All-Star Turf Management is proud to support the New Palestine community and Dragon Athletics. To learn more or for a free estimate, call All-Star Turf Management at 861-1234 or visit myallstarlawn.com. That's 861-1234 or myallstarlawn.com for All-Star Turf Management.
You're listening to The Dragons on NewPalRadio.com.
1:40 to go first half. New Palestine leads Richmond 25-12. Dragons looking to inbound and due out high to Eli Stevens. He drives down the lane after a pump fake. Can't get it to go, but Matt Brown's putback is off the glass and in. And the Dragons lead it by 15.
A really good sign for the Dragons. They've extended this lead. They've got 5 guys that have scored in the second quarter, and none of them are named Steele Brasfield.
And they're going to get possession back as Richmond Stephen Douglas is called for traveling in the post. So 1:21 to go. That's 11 Richmond turnovers, and they've been plagued by them here in the second quarter.
Yeah, a lot of sloppiness on Richmond's part, just not paying attention to details. And speaking of not paying attention to details,
Ian Stevens catches a pass at the top and just shuffled the feet. Looked like he was maybe just in between steps when he caught the pass. And
yeah, and I think he was thinking a little bit too much.
Yeah.
He was trying to decide what he wanted to do with it, and By the time he made up his mind, he had been called for a travel.
A minute to go, second quarter. Chase Newton with the basketball over to Stephen Douglas, right wing. He'll back it out high right. Bounces to the free throw line, and again, Stevens is going to be called for a foul as Phoenix Michaels caught it, and Stevens kind of got tangled up, and so Ian Stevens has 2. So the Dragons' foul trouble is essentially Damon Hockett and Ian Stevens with 2 each, and you can usually live with your bench players having a few fouls. So
yeah, only 5 fouls on the half.
Chase Newton with it, left side, uses a little pick and pop with Douglas, and now to Michaels into the corner for a catch and shoot 3 from Harris that goes.
That was a much better offensive set for Richmond. I think Coach Gleek has to be pleased with that. A couple of the threes that they had put up previously were really just bad looks. That one was off the design play. You could tell that was what it was meant to do.
Not only drives it from the top, pitches to Brassfield. He'll take it down the baseline and dunk it, but it's going to be wiped off on an offensive foul. Matt Brown called for an illegal screen.
Matthew Brown taking his offensive line training a little too seriously. The crossover, he smiles. Couldn't believe he was called for that. I did not see that as a moving screen, but he created so much space. Drew some attention from the official.
13 seconds to go in the half. Richmond with the basketball down 12. Chase Newton uses a double screen at the top, clears it to Douglas, over to the wing to Michaels with 4, with 3. Harris out top, and what do we have? A blocking foul on New Palestine, and that's the 7th team foul.
Yeah.
And so this is going to give Richmond free throws with 1.4 seconds to go, and that just bailed out Richmond, which had nothing happening on that possession, and now they're going to get free throws.
Absolutely. He was driving to the volleyball line, would have had to really put up a desperation 3. Not sure I saw that call.
And the free throw is strong. Blaine Nunnally with the rebound, and it will not go. And so New Palestine heads into halftime with a 27-15 lead over the Richmond Red Devils, outscoring the Red Devils 13-5 in the second quarter. We'll take a break. We'll come back and bring you the D&D Strictly Storage Best in Sight Family Eye Care halftime show. That comes up right after this. This is Dragon Basketball on newpalradio.com. Our broadcast is presented by All-Star Turf Management.
Catch the Shot Photography is your hometown photographer. Locally owned by Brenda Adams Turk and David Turk, Catch the Shot is dedicated to providing quality photos of your family, seniors, sports, and special events. We offer custom-designed products including sponsor banners, photo collages, senior banners, and much more. We look forward to catching the shots with you. Contact Catch the Shot Photography at 317-620-1240 or catchtheshot.com. D&D Strictly Storage in New Palestine is your home for storage needs. D&D Strictly Storage offers a wide variety of storage sizes from 5 by 10 feet up to 10 by 30 feet. They also offer indoor and outdoor parking for your boats and RVs. Locally owned and operated by Don and Maria Blackwell, D&D Strictly Storage is who to call for your storage solution. They're located on County Road 400 West, just north of the railroad tracks in New Palestine. Call them at 861-9231. Again, that's 861-9231 for D&D Strictly Storage. Mention this ad and get your second month free with any rental.
Best in Sight Eye Care has been the leader of quality vision and eyewear in New Palestine for more than 20 years. Our experienced doctors, Tim Huffman, Mark Habig, and Colin Clairbout, use the most advanced state-of-the-art technology and eye care products available. At Best in Sight Eye Care, you will find professionals who are dedicated to providing exceptional personal service to everyone who walks through the door. We are conveniently located on Arbor Lane in New Palestine. Just follow US 52 west of Mount Comfort Road. To schedule your appointment, visit bestinsighteyecare.com or call 861-4100. Give your vision the level of care it deserves. Mention this ad for 10% off your glasses purchase.
You're listening to The Dragons on newpalradio.com.
Halftime at the Dragons' Den. New Palestine leading at Richmond 27-15. Along with Mike Petrie, I'm Andrew Smith. And let's go over the halftime scoring. And Really good balance from New Palestine. Steele Brassfield has 9 points on 4 baskets, one of them a 3. Blaine Nunnally has 5 on a 2 and a 3. And then there's a bunch of guys with 2. Eli Stevens, Damon Hockett, Kyle Bastian, C.J. Oliver, and Luke Burgess all have 2, and Matt Brown has 3 points. The Dragons with 10 field goals, 2 of them threes, and they were 5 of 8 from the line. Oliver 2 for 2, Burgess 2 for 3. Brown is 1 for 2, and Stevens 0 for 1. Richmond, and also just to let you know, as far as just capping up the scoring, Ian Stevens also played but did not score. So the Dragons had 9 players play in the first half and 8 scored points. That's a pretty solid balance for Coach Trent Whitaker's team. And Trent watching at home this evening, and Coach Mike Gizzi leading the Dragons again for the second straight night. Coach Whitaker, we are expecting him to be back next weekend when New Palestine hosts Newcastle and Franklin Central on Friday and Saturday night, and we'll have the call of both of those games, both on newpalradio.com as well as on our New Palestine High School Athletics YouTube page. For Richmond, they had 7 players play, 4 have scored. Stephen Douglas leading the way with 7 points, a 3, a pair of 2s. He's 0 for 1 from the line. Dorian Hill and Tylen Harris have each hit 3-pointers, and Chase Newton has a 2-point basket. Also, Phoenix Michaels and Drew Van Vliet have played but have not scored for Richmond, which has 6 baskets, 3 of them threes, and they're 0 for 2 from the line. New Palestine led a 14-10 after a quarter, and 27-15 at halftime, so a 13-5 second quarter leads the way for the Dragons. So I think one key as well for New Palestine, 11 Richmond turnovers. They have more turnovers than they have baskets. And New Palestine, as you mentioned, has just kind of gradually opened up this lead. It's not been a big run that you've kind of had this avalanche of turnovers and 3-pointers and stops. It's just been kind of gradually New Palestine pulling away, and they've left a lot of points at the rim tonight. They could have an even bigger lead than this 12-point margin.
Yeah, absolutely. Defensively, they've been steady. Again, they have not necessarily been playing so aggressively as to cause a lot of these Richmond turnovers, but I wouldn't say that they're just, fortunate recipients of them either. Richmond is really trying to do something that they're not capable of in a couple of occasions where, especially as possessions go a little deeper, you see a little bit of panic set in. We mentioned at the outset, this is a Richmond team that likes to run. They like to play, if it's a half-court game, they like to get to the half-court, get 1-2 looks, and get a shot up. And they've rushed some shots, and they've turned the ball over a couple of times. Honestly, it just looked like the deeper they got into a possession, the more frustrated they got.
And the one thing you can tell, they're trying to spread the floor and drive.
Yeah.
And New Palestine just hasn't allowed them to do that. They've done a good job of keeping the Red Devils in front of them and essentially saying, we'll give you, if we're going to pick our poison, we'd rather give you the jump shot than the drive. And that has certainly been a winning formula for New Palestine so far in this game.
Absolutely. And you see the secret to success for Richmond, they've got to beat somebody off of a dribble and then allow, the defense collapses and then find a shooter. And when they haven't been able to do that, it really takes away kind of options A, B, and C for them. They are trying to probe into this defense of the Dragons. Dragons don't play a zone defense necessarily, but it functions like a zone. They are essentially, they will spread out to that 3-point line, and they're going to let you can pass it around, dribble it around as much as you want out there, and once you get into the 3-point line, that's when the defense really reacts.
Other scores this evening in the conference, as there's 4 other games, and after one, Speedway leads Greenfield Central 7-4. At halftime, Yorktown ahead of Mississinawa 28-24. Pendleton Heights was scheduled to be at Connorsville tonight, and I know Connorsville has had to postponed some games. I don't know if that game is being played.
And Pendleton Heights, actually, no, it says that's postponed. Pendleton Heights hasn't played any games yet on the season, either through them or through their opponents being postponed.
In Newcastle was scheduled to be at Jay County, but I do not see a score on that one either. So that's the scores we have in the conference. Yorktown at a Mississinawa, 28-24 at halftime, and Greenfield Central trailing Speedway by a 7-4 score. And now we've got a halftime score: Newcastle 21, Jay County 11. And Newcastle will be here on Friday night to take on the Dragons for the second conference game of the season. So we are closing in on the second half, and we will take our final break of halftime. When we come back, Mike and I will bring you all the second half action. The Dragons lead it 27-15 over the Richmond Red Devils. Thanks for enjoying the D&D Strictly Storage Best in Sight Family Eye Care halftime show. We'll be back right after this.
All-Star Turf Management is the best choice for the lawn you really want. Our superior lawn care services, including fertilizer, weed control, aerations, mowing, and more, are designed to improve and maintain your property season after season. Our combination of using the highest quality chemical products applied by educated, licensed professionals is what your property needs to become a place we both will be proud of. With flexible scheduling and service programs, we have a package that's right for your lawn and your budget. Locally owned and operated by Nathan Johnson, All-Star Turf Management is proud to support the New Palestine community and Dragon Athletics. To learn more or for a free estimate, call All-Star Turf Management at 861-1234 or visit myallstarlawn.com. That's 861-1234 or myallstarlawn.com for All-Star Turf Management. With a former Dragon star in Bloomington, all eyes should be on the Hoosiers football program this year. HoosierHuddle.com is a free and independent site that has covered the football team since 2013. They provide roster analysis, player profiles, interviews, game previews, wrap-ups, and more. You can follow them on Twitter at Hoosier_Huddle or visit HoosierHuddle.com to keep up with your in-state favorites.
Now, back to the action on NewPalRadio.com.
It's about time to begin the second half here at New Palestine. Along with Mike Petrie, I'm Andrew Smith. Thanks for joining us. New Palestine leads Richmond 27-15. The Red Devils will begin the second half with possession after scoring the final 3 points of the first half. Original starting fives on the floor for both teams. Dorian Hill bounces it to Stephen Douglas, and he tried to tip it out. The ball was knocked around. Douglas picked it up again. It was knocked away again. Chase Newton runs it down in the left wing, pulls up from 15 to the baseline. It's a little too strong, and Steele Brassfield comes out of there with the rebound, and Eli Stevens was ahead of everybody. Brassfield found him, and Stevens lays it in.
What was really helpful for Stevens was he was about 2 or 3 steps further ahead of everyone than he had been. He had missed some layups because he had been rushing them, but that time he took his time, put a dribble down, and puts one off the glass.
Richmond nearly turned the ball over about 3 times on that possession before finally missing the shot. Now Dorian Hill drives down the left side and gets a runner to go, and so the Dragon lead back down to 12 at 29-17. Nunnally dribbles out of a double team, picks up his dribble top of the key, clears it to Brassfield, lobs to Brown, but it was tipped and stolen by Douglas. Douglas with a long reach was able to get his fingertips on that one, and the other way we have a drive and an offensive foul.
And Brassfield paid for it. He's holding the back of his head a little bit, but he got the well-earned charge there.
Dorian Hill commits his second. Good strong drive, and Brassfield in perfect position to take the charge.
That's one of those ones that if it was college or NBA basketball, it wouldn't have counted. He was inside the little semicircle under the basket.
Nunnally drives to the right side, picks up the dribble on the wing, feeds Eli Stevens, pass a little bit behind him, but Stevens was able to track it down. Through Nunnally to Brassfield. He'll dribble it down to the right block, turn toward the middle, and leave a shot off the front of the rim, and the rebound tracked down by Harris of Richmond. Tylen Harris will bring it up the right side. Shake and bake his way down the line, and the lane parts like the Red Sea, but he can't get the left-handed runner to go, and Eli Stevens has the rebound. Quickly ahead to Nunnally. He'll take it into the lane, Scoop shot won't go. Rebound batted around and into the hands of Harris for Richmond. Quickly they come the other way. And here is a drive by Dorian Hill, and they'll swing it around to Douglas, right corner. Takes one dribble and back out to Chase Newton. 29-17, New Palestine leads. 5:50 to go, third quarter. Harris over to the right side to Stephen Douglas, and he's going to be fouled as one of the Dragons, Matt Brown, called for a hand check, and now Matt's got 3.
Yeah, that was a fortunate ending to the drive for the Red Devils. Kind of bails them out on another possession where really not getting any penetration.
Richmond inbounds to Harris. Bounce pass into the lane. Picked off. Good read by Blaine Nunnally. Nunnally takes it down the right side, draws contact, can't get the shot to go, but he'll draw the foul. Dorian Hill is called for a blocking foul, and that is his 3rd.
That was a fantastic job by Nunnally initiating the contact. He knew he had Hill essentially had his shoulders turned, so there was nothing that Hill could do, and Nunnally knew if he just any contact was going to get called as a defensive foul. He initiates that contact. Can't get the shot to go, but he'll have 2 free throws.
He makes the first, and that gives New Palestine a 13-point lead. And Nunnally looks like a defensive back on the steal as well, as just saw an opening and he broke for it and was able to get the steal and earn the foul.
Number of defensive backs would be happy if you got to dribble once before as part of the interception process.
Absolutely. Nunnally, it's both free throws. It's a 14-point New Palestine lead. 5.5 to go. In quarter number 3, Richmond works it around for a catch-and-shoot 3 from Tylen Harris.
That's
top
a big
of the key.
3 for them. Honestly, I was thinking at halftime it had to have been frustrating for Coach Kalik, because I don't know what you do offensively if you're Richmond. You've just got to beat people off the dribble. I mean, at a certain point, somebody has to exploit a matchup. They were not able to do that 1 through 5 in the first half.
Dragons work it to Luke Burgess, catches in the block, puts it up with the left hand, a little too strong. A rebound tipped into the hands of Stephen Douglas for Richmond. They'll push it the other way. Harris up the right side. Bastian picks him up on the right wing. Feeds to the top. Ball's knocked free by Stevens. Stolen by Bastian ahead to Stevens. He can't get the runner to go. Offensive rebound, Blaine Nunnally. It's too short. Gets his own rebound. This time it goes. Third time's a charm for Blaine Nunnally. He's got 9 and the lead back up to 13.
He's just padding his stats there. He knew he had a chance at the offensive rebound. He was going to get that as well as the layup.
Yeah, the 5'10 guard padding his rebounding stats.
Right.
Harris into the lane. Dorian Hill puts it off the deck. Back out to Harris for a three-pointer top of the key. This one's an air ball. James saves it, but to Nunnally, and he's able to save it inbounds to Eli Stevens. He hits the trailer. Burgess puts it off the deck, puts up an acrobatic runner and scores. Luke Burgess' 4th point, and a timeout is called by Mike Gizzi in New Palestine. The Dragons with their biggest lead of the game. It's 35-20. It's a full timeout, so we'll take 1-2. 4:13 to go. In quarter number 3, it's the Dragons 35, Richmond 20. This is Dragon Basketball on NewPalRadio.com, presented by All-Star Turf Management.
At Real Life Church, we've done everything we can to create a place people love so they can experience a loving God. That means we do everything with you in mind. Whether it's our weekend services, our kids and student ministry, or small groups, we really have been expecting you. We've been praying for you, and we're excited about the opportunity to go on a spiritual journey with you. We hope that you'll take your next step and join us this weekend at Real Life Church. There's always room for you.
Pork Vet Solutions is the best veterinary choice for your swine operation. Our 2 doctors, Matt Ackerman and Dylan Lape, can help you position your pork production system for the 21st century. We provide veterinary and consulting services, herd visits, preventive medicine, and more. Pork Vet Solutions is licensed and accredited in 8 states. Reach us online at porkvet.com or call 623-5132. That's porkvet.com or 623-5132. Pork Vet Solutions, literally saving your bacon each and every day.
You're listening to The Dragons on NewPalRadio.com.
4:10 to go, third quarter. New Palestine with a 35-20 lead. Richmond in possession. Chase Newton, their point guard, turns the corner, pitches out to James at the free throw line, back out to Newton, right corner. He'll work a 2-man game with James, takes it under the basket, tried to pitch it out to the corner, but Kyle Bastian reached up and swatted his pass out of bounds. possession will stay with Richmond.
I keep coming back. This has just been such a spectacular in its efficient defensive approach for the Dragons tonight. Not a lot of clean steals, but a lot of turnovers caused by the fact they're just being persistent and being difficult to score against.
Harris clears it to Dorian Hill, across the top to Chase Newton to the right wing. Newton guarded by Stevens, brings it to the top of the key, and Luke Burgess is now switched on him. You got the 6'8" center guarding the point guard. They'll bounce it inside to James. Dips the shoulder, leaves the shot short, gets his own rebound. It won't go, and Burgess clears the rebound for New Palestine. That's two pretty good looks for James underneath.
Yeah, and a guy that has done a decent job this season at cleaning up on the offensive glass. That time he had a couple of good looks, wasn't able to do it.
Dragons spread the floor, and Steele Brassfield drives from the high right side all the way to the hoop and lays it in for his 11th point. It's a 17-point New Palestine lead. The other way, Chase Newton launches a three off the dribble after one of the Dragons gambled a little bit and knocks it down, so it's 37-23.
Yeah, Eli Stevens, right after I was talking about how there hadn't been a lot of clean steals and they were just spectacularly efficient, he gives up an open look by gambling on a steal attempt.
Brassfield with it, left wing, skips it over to Kyle Bastian, now to Eli Stevens, top of the key, hand off to Bastian. Now to Brassfield, left wing. He'll direct traffic with Stephen Douglas guarding him. Kicks it out to Blaine Nunnally, and he'll back it back out to the high right side. We'll swing it back out through Bastian to Brassfield, left wing. Back to Nunnally on top. Over to the right side. Stevens takes one dribble and then clears it back out to Bastian, whose 15-footer hits the backboard, no good. And Douglas has the rebound, and quickly Richmond pushes it the other way. Newton cut off by Brassfield on the right baseline, backs it out to the wing. Out high right to Harris, back to Newton, who hit a three on Richmond's last possession. Bounce pass inside. Blaine Nunnally reached around and got the steal. Quickly ahead, Brassfield takes it down the lane. Acrobatic scoop shot won't go. Burgess tip up good. Luke Burgess has 6, the lead back up to 16.
I really like this rotation that the Dragons are able to run with Burgess and Brown in the post, keeping both of them fresh, and they've both had their moments on the offensive glass.
A minute 38 to go, third quarter. Blaine Nunnally's called for a hand check on the wing. That's his first foul, just the second on New Palestine this half. Matter of fact, both teams have been called for just 2 fouls in the first 6.5 minutes of this half. C.J. Oliver and Damon Hockett replace Blaine Nunnally and Eli Stevens in the New Palestine lineup. So you've got Brassfield and Bastian out there with Burgess, Oliver, and Hockett. Bounce pass inside, and Steele Brassfield read it, picked it off, ball's knocked away from him, out of bounds. New Palestine will have possession at midcourt. 14 Richmond turnovers and some quick hands inside. That's back-to-back post entries New Palestine has stolen.
Yeah, that's the adjustment that Richmond, it looks like, has tried to make here in the second half, has been much more concentrated efforts on getting some post entries.
Well, what's good for the Goose is good for the Gander. Post entry for New Palestine is stolen by Douglas, and he takes it the other way and draws a foul. This will be Damon Hockett's third.
And as much as anything, both coaches can look back at the film and talk about not telegraphing that those post entries are coming. Both teams essentially put up a billboard explaining exactly what their plan was for that possession.
Dorian Hill hits the first free throw. That's his 6th point. That's Richmond's first made free throw of the night. They're 1 for 3. Not a whole lot of free throws shot by either team in this game, as Hill hits them both, and that brings the Red Devils within 14.
I think by and large, even though the Dragons are a deep squad and could, withstand some foul trouble, they'll take nights where the officials let a lot of things go.
Brassfield across the top. They trap the screen. He clears to Bastian, back out top to Brassfield. Hesitation dribble to the top. Clears it to Hockett. He'll drive from the corner to the block, lay it up and in. Damon Hockett's got 4. It's back to a 16-point New Palestine lead.
And once again, it's just another new face scoring. Hockett now with 4 on the night, but, you're going to get quarters where you're getting 4, 5, 6 guys that all score.
5 different Dragons have scored in this period, and 5 scored in the second. And we have a holding foul. C.J. Oliver commits his first. Ian Stevens will check in for New Palestine, and he will replace Kyle Bastian.
I tell you one thing that I've liked, though, and we talked about it a little bit last week at Rushville with Steele having to step up into his new role. All of this balance is good and whatnot, but there have been a couple of possessions where Steele has basically just taken the ball and said, all right, we have a balanced attack, but I'm the man on this drive, and has been able to execute with that.
Richmond turns it over for the 15th time as Stephen Douglas travels inside. New Palestine in possession with a 16-point lead and 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. Brassfield high left. Burgess comes out to set the screen. Richmond traps it. He clears to Oliver, back out to Brassfield with 10. Again, Burgess sets the screen. Brassfield out into the corner to Oliver, fakes the three, pitches out to Ian Stevens. He wants three, grazes the side of the rim. Oliver tracks it down, puts one up at the buzzer. He hits the top of the backboard and is no good, and that's how the third quarter ends. The New Palestine Dragons open up a 16-point lead. It's 41-25 through 3. We're going to take a break, come back right after this. This is Dragon Basketball on newpalradio.com.
All-Star Turf Management is the best choice for the lawn you really want. Our superior lawn care services, including fertilizer, weed control, aerations, mowing, and more, are designed to improve and maintain your property season after season. Our combination of using the highest quality chemical products applied by educated, licensed professionals is what your property needs to become a place we both will be proud of. With flexible scheduling and service programs, we have a package that's right for your lawn and your budget. Locally owned and operated by Nathan Johnson, All-Star Turf Management is proud to support the New Palestine community and Dragon Athletics. To learn more or for a free estimate, call All-Star Turf Management at 861-1234 or visit myallstarlawn.com. That's 861-1234 or myallstarlawn.com for All-Star Turf Management.
Now, back to the action on newpalradio.com.
Time for the fourth quarter to begin here at the Dragons' Den. New Palestine leads 41-25 over Richmond. And solid balance for New Palestine. Steele Brassfield leading the way with 11. Blaine Nunnally has 9. Dorian Hill and Stephen Douglas lead Richmond with 7 each. New Palestine in possession to start the fourth quarter. Luke Burgess holds at the top of the key. Clears it out to Brassfield, left wing. He'll drive into the lane, put up a runner. It's no good, but he got his own rebound, tipped it off glass and in. 13 for Brassfield. The lead is 18, biggest of the night.
And that's the type of possession I'm talking about, that there will be times where when the Dragons need a bucket, it's good to have a go-to guy still, even with all this balance.
Richmond works it to Stephen Douglas in the right block, and he got Brassfield in the air, and Douglas earns himself a trip to the free throw line and Brassfield's first foul.
You can see how this Red Devil offense can work in a lot of cases, because Stephen Douglas is a big man, but he's going to be matched up with some power forwards and centers that he'll be able to drive on. They just haven't been able to do it all night.
First free throw is good from Douglas. He's now 1 for 2 on the night, 4 for 7 on the season. That's his 8th point. That leads Richmond. And puts up his second shot. This one, it's nothing but net. And so the Dragon lead is 16. Richmond full court pressure. Ian Stevens clears it to Brassfield. Back to Ian Stevens. Dragons cross the timeline. To Oliver, right wing, and CJ brings it back out to Steele Brassfield, high right. Start the half-court offense. Dragons spread the floor. Brassfield beats one, takes it to the hoop, and scores with a scoop shot. Good strong drive by Brassfield. Back up to a 45-27 lead.
That's a pretty finger roll at the end of a really solid drive.
Newton for Richmond clears it to Dorian Hill. He'll try to drive baseline, and his pass for Douglas in the corner was knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Richmond. We'll see Phoenix Michaels check back in for Coach Shabazz Khalik's Red Devils. And he replaces Dorian Hill. So New Palestine right now with Brassfield, the lone starter, Oliver, Hockett, Ian Stevens, and Burgess out there, and looks like that may be changing as the other 4 starters are all walking to the scorer's table as we speak. Tylen Harris to the free throw line, backs out to the three-point arc, puts up a contested shot off the dribble that won't go, and Steele Brassfield, the only one there to clear the rebound. Into the corner for Oliver. One dribble, looking underneath to Burgess, can't get it to him, so he clears it to Hockett, who gets it to Burgess. One dribble, puts up the hook shot with the right hand, won't go. Tip up, no. Burgess gets his own rebound, can't get the shot to go, but he's fouled. And he'll go to the line for the third time in this game.
And Burgess, one of the players that would be coming off, so that'll delay the line change just a bit. Dragons might have to just do it on the fly.
Luke Burgess is 2 for 3 from the line tonight. He has 6 points and still has 6 as he misses the first free throw. So Kyle Bastian will wait for this free throw, but Matt Brown, Eli Stevens, and Blaine Nunnally all check in. Brassfield, Ian Stevens, and Oliver all get a rest.
That's an interesting way to run the rotation if you're going to end up going 9 deep or 10 deep. Having Brassfield on the court with the 4 subs and then subbing him out for a little break here at the 6-minute mark, they may not have to bring him back in.
Burgess missed both free throws, but Richmond's Tylen Harris misses a 3 out of the left corner. New Palestine with the rebound. Quick feed into the post. Brown gets the left-handed shot to go. He showed middle, went to the baseline, and got the left-hander to go.
That was a much more confident move than what we saw from him in that first half. It was good to see that one fall.
Dragons with a 20-point lead, 5:49 to go. Chase Newton, left wing 3. It's the side of the rim, no good, and Brown clears the rebound. Eli Stevens to bring it up, clears it to Nunnally. Blaine with 5.5 to go. Brown comes out to set the screen. Blaine dribbled it off his foot, but got his bat. North of the volleyball line, Blaine to the free throw line, into the lane in a forest of Red Devils, puts up a fall-away jumper and knocks it down. Nunnally's got 11. The lead is 22. Richmond possession. Stephen Douglas inside the arc to the top of the key, clears it out to Harris. Tylen Harris drives left side of the lane, puts up a 15-footer that goes down. That's Harris's 8th point. It's 49-29. Again, Richmond shows full court pressure, a 1-2-2 press. The Dragons break it as Nunnally gets it across to Hockett. To the baseline, Luke Burgess skips it to Eli Stevens, left wing. Dumps it into the post to Brown. Takes it to the middle, puts it up with the right hand and scores. Matt Brown's got 7. 4 quick ones for him since he's come back into the game. The lead back up to 22.
Yeah, everything's coming in bunches for Matt Brown so far tonight.
Damon Hockett picks off an entry pass. He'll race it the other way, go coast to coast with the finger roll. Damon Hockett's got 6, and the Dragons are pouring it on. It's 53-29.
And the parade of turnovers, this is going to be a weekend that Coach Shabazz Khalik is not going to be real happy to look at tape because you're looking at 2 consecutive games with 20-plus turnovers.
Tylen Harris knocks down a 3 from the left wing. And so that cuts the Dragons' lead to 21. A number of subs are sitting at the table waiting for the next dead ball. Luke Burgess catches in the baseline, puts up a nice little hook shot. He's got 8. That's a career high, and it's 55-32. Of course, his varsity career has spanned 4 games.
Right.
It is a career high.
The low post offense has been great here in the second half.
Richmond is going for the long distance offense. Stephen Douglas just knocked down another 3. It's 55-35. It was Douglas' second 3 of the night. Damon Hockett drives and scores. He's got 8. 57-35. The pace of this game has picked up dramatically. And now here's an interception by Damon Hockett. He tries to drive the other way, loses the handle. It's saved inbounds and comes to Luke Burgess at midcourt. Clears to Nunnally. He'll launch a 3 off the dribble. Right wing good. Blaine Nunnally's got 14. The Dragons lead it by 25. Tylen Harris tried to split a double team. This time he was fouled as he got caught in a sandwich between Hockett and Nunnally, and Hockett is the guilty party on his 4th foul. And finally, Kyle Bastian's going to be able to come into the game. He was sitting at the table for about 3 minutes of playing time, and Steele Brassfield will come
Luke
in
Burgess
as well.
knew what he was doing. That's the one time you get a pass on missing free throws from me. Is if you're going to be subbed out, you miss that free throw. You just got to hit the rim. You got to make sure it's it stays a live ball.
3:07 to go. The Dragons are well on their way to their 3rd consecutive victory, and a 3rd one by double digits. Richmond in possession. Tylen Harris over to Dorian Hill. He'll clear to Van Vliet. Short corner right side 15-footer won't go, and Brassfield clears another rebound.
I was looking back to try to find the last times that that this Richmond squad was held under 40. They were held to 40 points last season at Newcastle, but other than that, this is generally a high-scoring Richmond squad.
Blaine not only knocked down a three in the last possession to give the Dragons a 63-35 lead, and Tylen Harris answers with his fourth three of the night. He's got 14. The lead is 25 for New Palestine. Nunnally puts up a runner from the free throw line and scores. Nunnally's got 19, and my guess he's going to take a 30-second timeout. We're going to do the same here really quickly as we've got some spots to catch up on. So we'll be back right after this. 65-38 Dragons. This is Dragon Basketball on New Power
Catch
Radio.
the Shot Photography is your hometown photographer. Locally owned by Brenda Adams Turk and David Turk, Catch the Shot is dedicated to providing quality photos of your family, seniors, sports, and special events. We offer custom designed products including sponsor banners, photo collages, senior banners, and much more. We look forward to catching the shots with you. Contact Catch the Shot Photography at 317-620-1240 or catchtheshot.com.
You're listening to the Dragons on NewPalRadio.com.
We're back to action as they didn't take all 30 seconds of that timeout as New Palestine was trying to get some subs in the game. Richmond with possession. They've got a number of new players in as well. And Tylen Harris launches another three from the top of the key. He can't get it to go. Dorian Hill tracks down the offensive rebound in the right corner. Drives the baseline all the way from one corner to the other. Clears it out to Harris. He'll drive left side of the lane, put up a runner and score. Tylen Harris has 10 of his 16 in the fourth quarter. And Richmond has hit the 40-point mark. C.J. Oliver's the ball knocked free from him on the right wing. Oliver, Bastian Brown, Ian Stevens, and Ian Raudebush in the game for New Palestine. The latter making his first appearance. We have a foul on Richmond as Drew Van Vliet is called for his fourth foul, holding Matt Brown inside. So Bastian to inbound, into the corner to C.J. Oliver. Will work it out to Ian Raudebush into the left corner. Kyle Bastian will drive into the lane, put up a runner and score. That's Bastian's fourth point. That's a 67-40 New Palestine lead.
That was a nice job. He showed the ball to the defender crashing from the weak side, and then just as the defender got close enough, he then scoops it in.
Stephen Douglas baseline drive. He's fouled by Kyle Bastian along the way. Douglas will go to the line to shoot a pair. And so that's just Bastian's first foul. Douglas with 12 points on the night. Richmond's second leading scorer, Tylen Harris, has 16. And he hits the first free throw. Douglas now 3 for 4 from the line. And he's looking for point number 15. And he does not get it. And it rims no good. And the rebound tipped into the hands of Ian Raudebush. He'll dribble the outlet up the right side to C.J. Oliver. He'll bring it back out to the wing to Raudebush. Dribbles inside the semicircle and back out to Oliver. Right side, into the lane, explodes the basket, gets a runner, can't get it to go. Tip up and in by Matt Brown. 9 points for Brown, 6 here in the fourth quarter. 28-point New Palestine lead. Here's a three out of the right corner that goes down from Dorian Hill. He becomes the third Red Devil in double figures with 10.
Their offense just looks so much different when a shot goes down, and it's to the Dragons' credit that a lot of those shots were contested early on, but very fortunate to have kept Richmond to as many misses as they did.
Oliver drives inside. The ball's knocked free from him, but right into the hands of Kyle Bastian, who scores his 6th point. Final 10 seconds of this one. Dorian Hill launches one more three. It was actually Tylen Harris who launched it, and he knocks it down, and that's how the final play will happen in this game. The New Palestine Dragons win this one going away 71-47 over the Richmond Red Devils. New Palestine with another big night at home, a 24-point victory. It's their second straight victory by 20-plus points on a Saturday night, and so that's a good way to cap the weekend. We're going to take a break. When we come back, it'll be time for the D&D Strictly Storage Best Insight Family Eye Care postgame show. That comes up right after this. This is Dragon Basketball on NewPalRadio.com. Broadcast presented by All-Star Turf Management.
With a former Dragon star in Bloomington, all eyes should be on the Hoosiers football program this year. HoosierHuddle.com is a free and independent site that has covered the football team since 2013. They provide roster analysis, player profiles, interviews, game previews, wrap-ups, and more. You can follow them on Twitter at Hoosier_Huddle or visit HoosierHuddle.com to keep up with your in-state favorites. All-Star Turf Management is the best choice for the lawn you really want. Our superior lawn care services, including fertilizer, weed control, aerations, mowing, and more, are designed to improve and maintain your property season after season. Our combination of using the highest quality chemical products applied by educated, licensed professionals is what your property needs to become a place we both will be proud of. With flexible scheduling and service programs, we have a package that's right for your lawn and your budget. Locally owned and operated by Nathan Johnson, All-Star Turf Management is proud to support the New Palestine community and Dragon Athletics. To learn more or for a free estimate, call All-Star Turf Management at 861-1234 or visit myallstarlawn.com. That's 861-1234 or myallstarlawn.com for All-Star Turf Management. D&D Strictly Storage in New Palestine is your home for storage needs. D&D Strictly Storage offers a wide variety of storage sizes from 5 by 10 feet up to 10 by 30 feet. They also offer indoor and outdoor parking for your boats and RVs. Locally owned and operated by Don and Maria Blackwell, D&D Strictly Storage is who to call for your storage solution. They're located on County Road 400 West, just north of the railroad tracks in New Palestine. Call them at 861-9231. Again, that's 861-9231 for D&D Strictly Storage. Mention this ad and get your second month free with any rental.
Best in Sight Eye Care has been the leader of quality vision and eyewear in New Palestine for more than 20 years. Our experienced doctors, Tim Huffman, Mark Habig, and Colin Clairbout, use the most advanced state-of-the-art technology and eye care products available. At Best in Sight Eye Care, you will find professionals who are dedicated to providing exceptional personal service to everyone who walks through the door. We are conveniently located on Arbor Lane in New Palestine. Just follow US 52 west of Mount Comfort Road. To schedule your appointment, visit bestinsighteyecare.com or call 861-4100. Give your vision the level of care it deserves. Mention this ad for 10% off your glasses purchase.
Now, back to the action on NewPalRadio.com.
It's the D&D Strictly Storage Best Insight Family Eye Care postgame show after a 71-47 New Palestine victory over the Richmond Red Devils. Let's give you the final scoring on this one. And lots of points, especially in the fourth quarter. Blaine Nunnally, a career-high 19 for New Palestine. He hit 3 threes among his 7 baskets. He also hit a pair of free throws. Steele Brassfield with 15. He hit 7 baskets, one of them a 3. Matt Brown with 9 points, 4 baskets, 1 of 2 from the line. Damon Hockett had 8. Luke Burgess also with 8. Hockett on 4 field goals. Burgess 3 field goals and was 2 out of 5 from the line. Kyle Bastian had 6 on 3 field goals. 4 points by Eli Stevens. He was 0 for 1 from the line. C.J. Oliver hit a pair of free throws for 2. Ian Raudebush and Ian Stevens both played but did not score. Dragons with 30 field goals, 4 threes, 7 of 12 from the line. For Richmond, Tylen Harris leads the way with 19 points. He hit 4 threes in this game. Make that 5 threes in this game. I was not a math major. and a pair of field goals as well. Stephen Douglas with 13. He had 4 field goals, 2 of them threes. He was 3 out of 5 from the line. And Dorian Hill had 10. He had 2 threes, a 2 was 2 of 3 from the line. Chase Newton, a 2 and a 3 for 5. Gunnar Kovac, Phoenix Michaels, Drew Van Vliet, and Trenton James all played but did not score. New Palestine led at 14-10 after a quarter. 27-15 after 2, a 13-5 second quarter. A 14-10 third quarter made it 41-25. And then New Palestine outscores Richmond 30-22 in the final period to win at 71-47. Richmond, by the way, 16 field goals, 10 of them threes. They only had 6 two-point shots in this game. They were 5 of 8 from the line. And I think, Mike, that takes us back to a theme that we've talked about throughout this game, which is New Palestine limited penetration, didn't let Richmond get very much inside. They had to settle for three-pointers and they're not bashful about shooting them by any means, but they had to settle for threes to get their offense tonight.
Yeah, but they want their threes to come in the way that the Houston Rockets get their threes. It's much better when it's predicated by a drive into the lane, forcing the defense to react. What you had tonight was that you had essentially one or two players were able to contain a dribbler. You didn't have to have the entire defense kind of collapsing on a dribbler. And when that drive doesn't go anywhere, there really weren't many extra options. In the second half, they started trying to work the ball down to Stephen Douglas a little bit on the post, but they have not developed that part of their offense nearly as much as the dribble drive aspect of it. And because of that, it was just a ruthlessly efficient defensive effort.
And when you hold a team that can score like Richmond can and likes to score to 47 points, and a lot of those came in a fourth quarter that was kind of got a little bit of turned into a racehorse game long after the game had been decided, and that's
absolutely
pretty good.
Yeah, they were at 38 points with about 2 minutes left. And, Tylen Harris, his 19 points, I would say, 10 of those came really once it was well out of hand.
And that's certainly the case. Mike, you've got a couple of other scores from throughout the conference. I'll pass it along to you.
Absolutely. So Greenfield Central leading Speedway 29-19. That one's at the end of the third quarter. Yorktown leading Mississinawa 39-34. That's also end of third. And Newcastle ahead 31-25 at the end of third. Their JV games apparently did not know how to finish on time like ours did.
And Newcastle playing Jay County tonight. That'll be the Dragons' next opponent Friday night, and conference play resumes. And if you are the Dragons coaching staff and Trent Whitaker and Mike Gizzi, you got to like the fact that you have double-digit wins over two sectional opponents. So looks like Coach Gizzi is going to come join us here on the post-game show, and so we'll get the extra mic for Coach. And Coach Mike Gizzi joining us on the D&D Strictly Storage and Best Insight Family Eye Care post-game show. And Coach, congratulations on the win. I think Mike and I were just talking about two double-digit wins over potential sectional opponents. It's kind of a statement you want to make early in the season, and a nice win for you tonight.
Yes, definitely a nice statement. I feel great about the wins. I thought all the boys responded really well to me and to Coach Whitaker being out and the situation. Everybody stepped up. We had a really good week of practice, and the results were as you saw.
And I think that is something that you mentioned. When your head coach is out, and you don't know how players are going to respond, but I think the fact that you have a rivalry game on Friday night, it got a nice start in that one, got an early lead, really kind of set the tone for the weekend.
You're exactly right. It definitely did. And my only concern coming into tonight was Richmond scores a lot of points when they want to, and last night was emotionally draining. That was a huge game for our kids, a huge game for Greenfield. Both teams battled. Greenfield's a good team this year, sectional and rival of ours. But yeah, the weekend could not have gone any better from my perspective. Really happy with everything.
Talk about your defensive effort tonight. They're a team that likes to drive. They've got a couple of good players. Douglas inside's really good. You limited them to 6 2-point baskets tonight and really seemed to cut off their driving lanes. Just describe what you were doing defensively to allow that to happen.
So all week we talked about pressuring the ball and helping on penetration. Also trying to guard the three-point line. I know it's hard to do all of those things, but the kids had really good defensive intensity and defensive pressure, and they guarded the ball really well. And our rotations on defense were really good. When somebody did get into the paint, their shots were contested. And I thought we did a really good job of not leaving the shooters. At Greenfield, we didn't leave Moles and some of the other shooters. And tonight, a little bit at the end, some of their shooters got hot, but for the most part, we protected the paint, which is something I try to preach.
And offensively, obviously, 71 points, 30 in the fourth quarter. But tonight, how good is it to have Blaine back in the lineup as your point guard, and how much does he really settle things down and get the ball to the places where it needs to go?
Having Blaine is a huge asset for us. I was a little nervous because last night was his first game at Greenfield. Again, a big game for us, but he's a difference maker from a calming perspective. He certainly, is the captain of our ship in terms of running things on the offensive side, and just handles the ball so well, which is just a huge benefit for us. And it was great to have him come back with 2 wins, and after 2 wins, it feels like he didn't really miss a beat.
Mm-hmm.
I thought last night he had a couple moments where he didn't look like himself, just being out for 10 and 12 days, but I think he's pretty good right now.
Well, congratulations on the 2 wins, and now you've got a conference game coming up next week against Newcastle, and good luck as we get ready for that game and prepare for that one.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It's been fun so far. Thanks.
So New Palestine head coach or assistant coach, but acting head coach this evening, Mike Gizzi, joining us as Coach Trent Whitaker was unable to be here as contact tracing and things have kind of taken their toll, and that was the case for Blaine earlier, as that was kind of known, and now he's back, and Coach Whitaker has been out for this weekend, but I believe he will be back next week. And you were kind of making the point as well. Dragons doing a good job defensively, and you can cover the 3-point line and cover the driving lanes when you, as you point out, don't overhelp.
Yeah, as much as anything, I thought it was interesting because they talked about helping on defense, and so much of it was a lot of the on-ball defenders did not need help, or when they did, the help was arriving, and when you're doing that, and you're helping not because the man that you're helping is being beaten. That's where the opportunities for steals come in, because you're coming in and you've already got the offensive player really having to decide where he wants to go.
And so that's really a solid effort. Now you've got a Newcastle team coming in next week that is always just a great program, always well coached. You know what you're going to get when you face Newcastle. You're going to get some size inside and a bunch of guys that can shoot the ball. And it's a team that New Palestine has had some success with in this gym. The last time Newcastle came here might have been one of the best performances ever put on by a New Palestine team here, as the Dragons won by 20+ against a good Newcastle team. And that's going to be.
Was that Bumbelow still?
That was Bumbelow was still there. Yeah.
He did that a couple of times because we got him against Mount Vernon that year, and he, I think, went for 40 of Newcastle's 59 points.
Yeah, and that was one of those where he was scoring a lot of and pretty much all of their points those years, but that year especially. But so Newcastle comes in. You got another conference game next week, and then you're playing a very, very good Franklin Central team on Saturday night. But got to like the way this team has responded after losing big to Beech Grove, and it was one of those nights where Beech Grove they were hitting threes from the parking lot that night. I'm not sure anybody could have beaten them that night. But then you follow that up with 3 double-digit wins and kind of a statement tonight, really, against a sectional opponent.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they just, as much as anything, they have to be really impressed with the defensive effort and the defensive performance. Now, there are some things offensively I think they can still clean up. Turnovers can stand to come down a little bit. There have been a couple of times. But, when you face 2 teams that press as much as Richmond did and as much as Greenfield did on this weekend, and you're able to come away, probably on the upper hand in terms of turnover margin, I think you take that as a win.
Well, we are going to, that'll be it for us tonight as the New Palestine Dragons knock off the Richmond Red Devils 71-47. I want to thank all of you for watching and listening. For Mike Petrie, I am Andrew Smith saying a good night. So long, everybody. Our final score again, New Palestine 71, Richmond 47.
Thank you for listening to Dragon Basketball on NewPalRadio.com. Tonight's game was brought to you by All-Star Turf Management, D&D Strictly Storage, Best in Sight Family Eye Care, Pork Vet Solutions, Hoosier Huddle, Real Life Church, and Catch the Shot Photography. Thanks for listening. Join us next time for more Dragon action on NewPalRadio.com, presented by All Star Turf Management.